I can see you there too. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be mounted the chat for you. You can hear me okay? For those of you just joining, once the song is done, we will start the show. Wait a few minutes for people to pop in.
So I got the whole front end back in. They sent me the wrong shock shafts, so luckily I was able to straighten it and not mar it up. So and they gave me a refund. There was no oil from no diff oil from factory. So then I had to pull the whole rear of the truck out. So I've had the front of the truck out, the rear of the truck out. Now I have the motor, receiver, ESC, half the roll cage, and good thing because let's see, how do I? So this is what I've been working on. So this is what I've been working on.
All right, so what's going to get? So let me see if I can. You're getting a back feed, right? So what's going to get? Let me see. You're getting a back feed, right?
Yeah, I muted myself. I don't know why it's doing that.
It should be fine now.
All right.
It's still the computer. I'm trying to monitor the chat. And it looks like we have 5 people joining us.
Oh, perfect.
So
Well,
let's get started.
Like to thank you for having me again. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. I enjoy your company. Good evening, Roughneck community. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live. Our guest for the evening is RC Adventures. How's it going, brother?
Right as rain, brother. Right as rain. Good as always. No complaints.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. What you been up to the past week? I know you've been busy wrenching on stuff, so fill us in.
Yes. Let's see. I finished up the X Max as far as the differentials and all that in the shimming, and I got the battery trays installed. I then got everything cleaned, and for next week we will be during the week I'm going to manufacture a bracket, so I'll be able to put the motor in and suspension, and we'll have that truck up and running. In the meantime, I've been working on the Losi. That's what I was doing.
I see. Your sound went bye-bye for some reason, but
I had noticed, that's because I noticed that
I'm gonna have to buy you some lights for Christmas.
Yeah, I got to do something. I've been over that yonder that way. My brother's old room. I now have a desk in there and half the room cleaned, and I have a lot of the vehicles set up on stands, and I'm gonna have a little studio.
Good.
So we have been working on that.
Very good.
So I was having a noise issue, and I noticed that the center diff, it almost seemed as though it was dry. It was like skipping. And I thought maybe I had chipped a tooth. Well, after disassembling it, the fluid had a little metallic grayness to it. It was not clear like it's supposed to be this clear CST fluid.
Right.
This center diff does not run the million weight putty like Traxxas. It runs differential CST silicone fluid. I had noticed it was dark gray, and I've only driven this truck, I don't know, maybe 8 battery packs worth. What I had noticed is on that dog bone yoke on this backside where the drive shaft is, it's pinned, and then there's a flange, and then there's a bearing, and then it's tapered, and it goes into said case. And what was happening was on that center differential, either the the ID of the bearing was machined a little small, or the OD of the center diff has kind of like a zinc coating, and I noticed a little burr on it. So I took a little emery cloth to it, and then the bearing freed up, but then it was not spinning like it is right now. It spins freely. So I re-inspected it, and I had noticed that on this shaft, when you split the case, in this case, there's a worm gear where spider gears. Well, where the pin goes through with the shim, there is a bearing and a rubber seal. It was dragging because they zinc oxide coated it. Well, with that coating, I mic'd it, and the tolerance was oversized. So I had to take some emery cloth and WD-40 and take some of the coating down, which will not affect it because it's in oil, so it won't flash rust or anything. It's just not black anymore. So I now have the proper tolerance, and is working as it should, spinning freely. I even got the motor out, inspected it. Good thing I did, because the pinion had shifted a little, and the motor plate backed off a hair. And one thing I didn't like is I had noticed that under here, the way this case is designed.
Hold on one second. Good evening, AJ. How's it going, buddy? Long time no see. As you see, your brother has been busy working, and you probably busy working too.
He said, AJ, I thought you were talking to my brother. Oh, it's a bad day. So,
no, I'm talking to your brother. He's in the
yeah,
chat.
I see that now. So this was all caked up with dirt, and I noticed a lot of grease. So the way this is designed, I don't care for it. So I'm gonna run like a perimeter seal of some either dielectric grease or just marine grease to keep it from blowing out, because there's no seal on this. And this is a machine surface. That's fine. There's an aluminum plate, but this plastic surface, it's blowing the dirt right through, and it contaminated it. So we got everything. It's working. I don't think I can get my.
I'm listening. I just trying to figure out how come AJ's message didn't come in.
We may have a problem here.
Pop chats? No, why isn't it working this way? Message.
Huh. Well, I might have to take a look at that.
Let's do a little test here. So, in case you guys are wondering, what am I doing? What am I looking over at? I'm looking over at another computer. I'm running like three machines right now at once. Broadcasting off the phone. The computer I have is really old, so I'm trying to monitor the chat with the bigger screen. But not does not seem to be working. The chat's not showing up, so could be just so outdated that it can't keep up.
Very well, maybe. I got lots of construction. You're going to hear payloaders and track hose. I do apologize for that.
Oh, I don't.
It says we got 6 people in here, but I don't see the chat either.
Oh, I see the chat.
Hello.
AJ said, "Hello, fellas," and that's about it.
Yeah.
And then this one, there's nothing in it, and I don't know what your screen says, so I'm showing nothing in chat here. So could be a YouTube thing, could be technical difficulties on my end too. I am trying to figure all this out. Relatively new streaming people, so like I am trying to problem solve as I stream. Just trying to figure out what goes what, because unfortunately there's no other way to figure it out beforehand. You just kind of have to get systems up and running, and as you add new stuff, figure out how you can make everything work, which fortunately is never fun. Yeah. According to the big screen, there's 3 watching, which is good. Now there's 5. It's bouncing back and forth.
Right.
But that is fine.
I did have a friend of mine reach out to me. He's willing to spend up to $2,200 to $2,400. So I've been laying out. I chatted with him throughout the night and throughout the day today. He basically wants a truck on a rock crawler frame, but he's not going to rock crawl with it. He just wants like an old square body Chevy jacked up on like 2 rims, like 5.25-inch tall tires, straight axles, and he wants speed. So I'm gonna have to. I had a transmission here. I had cases and whatnot I wanted to use, but when I did the ratios, even with a hobby wing 2200 kilovolt, I could only get about 18 to 22 miles per hour, and he wants faster than that. So I either have to go to a different motor or go to a 1-to-1 transmission, like my brother runs in his carbon fiber axial custom built. So actually, I need to reach out to him.
is he really bent on having a crawler frame? Because there's so many better options for high speed.
Well,
Um,
he wants it. He wants it to be a truck. It doesn't necessarily have to be a crawler frame.
so like, I would look into isn't USA one a square nose old style Chevy? It'll show USA one. It's a Bigfoot.
Well,
But,
he wants me to custom build it from scratch. That's he doesn't.
well,
He wants.
custom.
Yeah, he has $2,200 to $2,400. He wants me to. That's my price. That's what he's willing to spend on the build, not including what he's going to pay me. That's what he has set aside to build what he wants.
Then what are you charging per hour? That's the other thing. That's the hard part about you got to build yourself out, especially at a custom.
Well, as of right now, we haven't discussed that. I said I got to lay some things out. I got to figure some things out because of what he's wanting and requiring. And after I talked to him, explained to him, he's now realizing what it's going to take. And I'm already running into some obstacles when I laid out my blueprint. And now I cannot use a Traxxas transmission like I want to with a 2-speed transmission due to the gear ratios and because he wants 5-inch tall tires and straight axles. That affects all the ratios. So, like I said, he doesn't want to rock crawl with it. He just wants to blast through fields. So,
Look at
and
you.
he wants it jacked up. So now I have to find an axle that is not only straight, but I need like almost a 1/6 style so I can make this thing wide enough so it's stable, so it doesn't just roll over.
All right. But he
Because
wants to go. He
I
wants
don't
to
have
go
to worry.
really fast. Though. That's the problem.
He's not going to be crawling, so I don't have to worry about cogging and all that. I'm not going to put a Millennium system in it or anything like that. I wanted to go to the Hobby Wing 2300 kilovolt, but I don't think that's going to be enough. He wants like 35 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour he wants to achieve. I don't know if I can even do that with a 1-to-1 transmission on 3S. Kilovolt wise, I don't know if I can do.
Do I still have?
Millennium is what 3,200 kilovolt, I believe, or 33.
So your best bet is to get an LMT and gut it. Use an LMT as your base truck. They'll give you your shocks. It'll give you an LMT can do 35 miles an hour. It can probably do more than that if it's set up for it.
Right, but
it'll give you the height that you want. There's plenty of bodies for it.
Well, he particularly wants a Chevy body. It has to be a Chevy pickup body, like a high trail body.
Right, you can get a high trail body for the LMT.
Right. But the problem I'm having is he wants like he really wanted me to cut my own frame rails. That's really what he wanted, and I told him no. You know.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. That I wouldn't cut you on. Even if you have access to a jet.
I do have access to a water jet.
But
I could take my pro frame rails and go down to my buddy Josh and have him blast them out. But that's an LCG frame, and that's kind of defeating the purpose of what he's wanting. So I'm thinking about using my old high trail sport C channel frame and 4-linking it because I have the capability of doing that. But then I realized if I use the single, so I do have, or it's actually my brother's. He has a spare aluminum axial transmission plate that I could drill holes in that frame rail and it would be fine, and I could just run a 1-to-1. But now I need to figure out the diameter of the tire, the axle ratio, and I need to figure out the kilovolt and how many. I'm going to need like a 50,000 RPM motor,
Um,
at least 50,000 RPMs. I mean, and so I'm thinking I'm thinking maybe, what would you think? 4,000 kilovolt motor would be all right.
see, gear it right. The problem is like everything that he wants changes your gear ratio. So if you put, as you know, you put bigger tires on something, it's another variable you have to calculate for. You
Right.
run X amount of power through a system, you have to make sure that the transmission, whatever which way, even if you were, you know, does he want 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive? That's another variable that you got.
It's got to be 4-wheel straight axle.
Four
I
wheels.
already know I'm gonna have to run a 1-to-1 transmission. I'm gonna have to, because I every 2-speed transmission, now I got to deal with all the servos and all that, and
Yeah.
those are preset ratios, and they're not going to give me what I need. And because of his tire height, it's quite a process.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably would have turned it down.
I haven't taken the job. I've only discussed it. I'm trying to lay it out, and I don't even know if it's. I mean, anything's doable
But the amount of work that has to go into it.
if he's willing to pay. I mean, if he's willing to pay $2,200 just for the truck itself, I'd imagine, what is he willing to pay me? But I mean,
I don't know what's going on with chat. If anybody is out there, can you double check and see if chat's working? I see 6 of you are watching. Just put like a thumbs up or a high or a number 1, just so I can make sure that it's actually functioning, because I have 3 systems going on right now, and none of them
yeah.
are showing.
I got 7 people, 0 thumbs ups, and only 1 hello fellas. I have nothing.
Well, the hello fellows was from your brother.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I got nothing other than that.
Yeah, I got nothing. So it was just key in number 1 or hit high or something, so I can make sure the system's working, if you don't mind. My week has been crazy. I did a parade last weekend.
So you did.
Yeah, there's video up on it on the channel and on my Facebook and everywhere else.
I just got through all the second MT challenge videos, so I haven't caught up yet. And I did get some videos out on here too, so that was a plus.
Yeah, I noticed that. I did comment on
Yes, I know. They are allowing me to post videos again on here. They're actually uploading. I don't believe it's the platform. I believe it's the internet that was having an issue.
Then so we've been chatting for a little bit. So what else is new in my world is, I did the Ren Fair thing last weekend. I pulled the Predator out. The Predator costume, even though this isn't RC related, guys, and I get it, we'll get back on topic in a minute. The Predator needs, I'm doing away with the platform shoes, even though I'm a short person, just because I almost broke my neck walking around in those things several times. Almost snapped an ankle, which was not good. Is your camera black? Am I talking to myself? No sound.
Sorry, I got to keep the camera down. I'm having technical difficulties here, Mike.
That's all right, as long as you can hear me. So yeah, doing a revamp on that. It is going to be quite different next year. But it was a prototype, so like with any prototypes, when you do a shakedown run, you don't know until you actually get it out there and do it, whether it's an RC or a full suit like the prototype suit was. Um, it's that is there'll be revamped stuff coming on that eventually. It is a money thing too. It's quite expensive to have multiple hobbies. And
Yes, it
I'm slowing down because we're going to be going into the holidays, which are another financial drain. Um, so that being what it is, that happened. Monday was pretty uneventful. I laid some more glass on the throne, and that's pretty much it. I didn't do too much. I was very low key on Monday, and that brings us to today. Now, people are wondering why is it this title something new? Um, as soon as you get back into screen, we will cover that.
Yep. I'm putting my truck up on the table so I can show you what I've been working on.
Very good. Definitely. Um, so I showed 2 people watching. I'm glad you guys are sticking with it. Feel free to give us a thumbs up. Now it's down to 1 person, and ding that bell for notifications. Subscribe if you haven't. The whole 9 really helps out the channel. In the end, if after the holidays this stream has not taken off and people have not been coming in more and more, then we might not stream no more. This is completely a experiment to see if it's worthwhile investing into the equipment that you actually need to do a successful stream. Right now, we are broadcasting off of our phones, and that is because none of us want to spend, $1,500 to $2,000 on streaming cameras and all that stuff, and have the proper setup with multiple cameras and the lighting and all that. If it ain't worth it, so we're putting out the streams and seeing what happens, basically. On a week,
so I gotta be careful because nothing's really attached. I didn't like on this particular truck. There is a lot of right in. You'll be able to see it from this side better. This fucking light. There is a lot of play right at that joint, which I mean, that's you got to have play, And this is plastic. It has to. What
you're gonna break. It's plastic.
What I did not like, and I had to adjust, was the I call them kingpins or ball. I guess I call them kingpins, but I guess you could call them a ball joint for the knuckle. It runs this screw here. These were up and on.
That's the problem with such big trucks.
I extended this table too. I cut foam, like for house siding, like that you put for on the exterior of your house, the pink insulation board.
Oh yeah.
Then did it off the tray table. But like I said, I'm getting the office all set up. So the light bar's out, all the panels are off, the ESC is out. I did notice that the receiver, whatever this funky double-sided, it was flopping around. So I have now corrected that. One thing I don't like about this particular truck, you, you know I don't run my stuff through muck. I've only driven this really. I've only driven this truck on the street, and one day it had rained, and I got a little close to the edge of the road. But I mean, it's just
it's dirty. Cover me for a couple minutes. I need to get more coffee.
So I'm actually gonna pull all this wiring out. I'm gonna remove all the electronics, and I'm gonna
Keep talking, Scott. I'll be right back.
I believe I'm going to. I really don't want to hit it with water, so what I'm gonna do is take a misting bottle or a damp rag and actually I'm going to hit it with a brush to break the dirt loose. Then I'm going to use some compressed air, and then what I'm going to do is come in with a damp rag to get all the rest of the excess out. What I have realized, fun tip for you guys if I can find it. I just learned this trick. WD-40 Specialist is silicone based. I'm gonna admit I did not know. I have done it throughout my life a few times. You are not supposed to wash this newer plastic with dish liquid. It breaks down the plastic due to them. Certain companies, you'll notice the chassis on a certain brand have a lighter version of the chassis. And I don't have the actually, I have a part here. It's not clean, but so if you have this dark gray plastic, this is better quality. If you have the lighter version, unfortunately, it is cheaper plastic. But so you really, in my opinion, you shouldn't be using dish liquid. I like using a brushed compressed air and this WD-40 Specialist and give it a good soaking. And it actually cleans it up quite well. And the dirt doesn't seem to want to stick to it. It doesn't really leave a film behind long as you wipe it down and dry it properly and don't leave it wet. And then it gives it a little bit of a film, but not stuff will stick. It almost acts like a wax and helps repel the dirt. So this stuff's all just sitting here. So I put brand new hinge pins in. Both sides I replaced. This is the shock. I unfortunately, you see tape. I had to hodgepodge it. I'm not gonna lie. And I put red Loctite on it because you cannot buy just a rod end. You have to buy a whole shock front and rear rebuild kit, and it is unfortunately $18. And money is tight, so sometimes in life you make do with what you have. I have about 30 rod ends. None will work with this style. So I Loctited it and threw a little tape on it, and we're gonna run it. I have the part ordered. but 5 of the places were out of stock, and it's going to take 7 to 14 days. But the shaft I was able to fix. You can clearly tell where before with the hinge pin ended up really not being bent. They were just dirty, so I changed them anyways, cleaned it. Didn't want to take a chance. I pulled the truck apart. As you can tell, the shock shaft was not even marred or anything, and it's not leaking. It just where it bent it is when it came disconnected. It must have got stuck in the drive shaft or poked a toe. So I just had to tweak where this bump stop is. So I heated it up. I grabbed onto it and I tweaked it. I don't recommend doing that. I always recommend replacing it. But hey, when you're in a pickle, sometimes you just do things like this. It's a temporary fix, because I will also inform you that I had reached out to Losi. They gave me this particular part number and told me that this part number is compatible with the hammer ray, and this is for...
Show your camera up a little bit so they can see the part number, because people are not seeing that. And it's not a lighting issue. It's just that you were not. It wasn't in the area.
Well, this is for the Baja ray, and if you look, you can clearly see the thickness. These are about the size of my sledge, and they are way too thick. They do not fit. That's just an FYI. They are not compatible with the front or the rear. You need part number LOS 232333001 would be the proper part number. I have learned.
Once again, what are you working on? So for people who are just joining us.
Oh, also, when I rolled this truck at 45 miles an hour and it did a little tumble wumble, I had noticed that the spacing of this was really hitting the body compared to this side. Come to find out, where did I put it? Well, I don't know what I had done with it. I had saved it. I don't know what I did with it. This screw here, you can tell I had to use a different one because actually, it was this side I tore up. You can see how it mangled the plastic, and I had to use a cap head, where this uses a button head, but it's the same thread and length because it actually threads all the way into here. So it's the wrong head, but it's the right length and size, and it is now operational.
This is the
sway bar.
No, what is the truck? Just so people know what you're working on.
Oh, this is a Losi Hammer Ray U4. Now, there is a little confusion, and I'm actually confused because I am told that this truck is 4S compatible. Well, when reading the owner's manual, it says not to run 4S, that it will be detrimental to destroying the motor. So I would not recommend it. I actually run a Z hard pack. It's a
You muted yourself. No sound. Can you hear me?
no, I had to mute. My phone's on do not disturb, and yet people are calling me. I don't.
Yeah, I know. It's sometimes happens.
I apologize if you heard that.
I didn't hear anything. I just heard mute. So all right, so here, before both our phones die, I just had to plug mine in, so I'm holding it now. Yay me. So I gotta do everything one-handed, guys.
Yeah, I'm overheating, so I'm going to unplug mine, but I am at 76, so we can keep it going.
So I did I went to work today, sitting at my desk. Was this? It's a bag with my name on it. I was like, what in the world did I do to get so special that I get actual gifts? So in there is new work hoodies.
Oh, that's
I got
that's
two
nice.
of them. Let's see if I can get it out for you. You know, it says West Tool on it. West Tool and Die. Now everyone knows where I work. I got two of them. They're heavy duty. So like in the wintertime, I won't be freezing my butt off. Which was a nice surprise. I like free clothes. I don't care what's on it. To some extent. If it was pink, I might be like, I guess I'm just wearing this at work. But, you know, it's been a couple
we
years.
did talk last week. They did send me the case. It was short. I matched it up and measured it. I have it written. I don't know the exact measurement. And when you buy, I don't have the tag. The part was bought in for me. They had bought a complete differential instead of just buying a ring and pinion, ring gear and pinion gear. They just bought the whole $59 pre-assembled assembly. They do not shim those apparently, or they shimmed it. So pay attention to that. It was also dry. So you should always pull your stuff apart and check, is my point. Just because it comes from factory, always check your stuff. Maintenance is very important. Because if I had just tossed this in the truck, it would have destroyed itself and potentially ruined something else. It wouldn't even turn. It was binding up so bad. And when I matched the cases up, it was roughly, I'm going to do it in American, whatever. It was 32,000 short. So it was smashing the gears together.
All right, so I have one other thing to show you guys. As far as something new, the title of this video. And to show you. Just trying to figure out where I'm going to put everything because I'm surrounded by you only see this back. I'm surrounded by like on this side is the juice car I was building still in pieces, and over here is like computers, and then behind me is the printer. I have things piled everywhere. Something new. I haven't opened it.
slide. I can't. There you go. You notice how I said slide? Slide that on over. You're going to be doing some slipping and sliding, I see here.
Yeah, something new to the channel, new to my wheelhouse. You really don't know much, as I've mentioned several times, about drift crash. So we will open this on the stream, guys. We are opening it live. Believe me, I had to sit on my hands. You know, I picked it up. And I was like, "Oh, I gotta wait till Tuesday, really?"
Well, while he's doing that, one other thing I do not like about this truck, and I'm going to take care of it. The pinion angle at static ride height, which the truck is always gonna, when it's with its weight, it's gonna be at that position, and when it unloads, like when you're in the air, you will notice when the it's hard to see when the truck unloads, this pinion angle, as you can see, you are going to start to wear stuff out. So I have already done the research, and I actually have them. I just have not installed them. I would highly recommend that you go with adjustable, either high clearance, some type of adjustable rod end here. This really, this pinion angle is wrong in my opinion, especially when it droops out and at static ride height. Now, under hard acceleration, the truck does squat and it brings it down like this, but generally it's always running at a severe angle, and that generates a lot of heat, a lot of wear. So that is a dislike of mine.
All right, I'm ready. So in this box, of course, you get the radio unit, transmitter, which is your standard tracks and stuff. It looks like. So, I'm not exactly sure. I know this does something. I have no idea what. This is going to be a huge learning curve for me. So Traxxas standard. I can't one-hand it, so we're going to have to 3D print something to make that possible, because filming requires you to one-hand stuff. I'll pick that up later. That was supposed to be. I think they messed up in the order here, but I'm not going to complain. I don't care. Not that fussy. Some people will be like, "Well, I wanted this color." Before I get that, you get tires, two different compounds. The ones on it, I believe, are for outdoors. These ones are for inside. For my research. Of course, you get the handy dandy manual. I'm not going to open it up. Most of you people know what a handy dandy manual is. You get some stickers, the usual ordeal. They must have stopped giving you Allen wrenches and stuff like that. Traxxas is getting cheap in their old age.
Wheel nut, right? No Allen wrenches.
No Allen wrenches, no star wrenches, no tools, absolutely none.
They must have just stopped doing that because last August, when I purchased my sledge, I think that was my last Traxxas purchase. It had my high trail, which was this past summer, had a full toolkit. So that must be something new.
Hitting you into frame is going to be a little tough. I have limited space. I'm right on the edge here. But I did ask for orange. This looks like red to me. But, red, they still look sharp. It has this film on it. I'll peel that off in a minute. Maybe I'm slightly colorblind, but that looks more red than orange to me. I was thinking like
I would call that a copper burnt.
Yeah, they did say
it is orange. I'm a colorblind man. I'm color impaired. I would call that orange, but that is very close on the spectrum of a few shades up of red to me. I think it's because they did like a copper type orange, it looks like to me, from my view or your lighting.
So I won't be able to get on. Unfortunately, I won't be able to drive this right away because I need to pick up a 2S battery pack. And
that is a very nice stand. Those are some stylish wheels. Look at the exhaust work, the tail lights. What's the underside? Is it like a 3mm flat bottom aluminum chassis? Yes, it is. Or is it composite?
The Fortec redesigned. So supposedly you press down on these two vents and it should pop. I'm not sure. So once again, guys, I actually haven't had a Traxxas in a very long time, especially a new one.
Oh,
this pops down somehow.
Well, I know with my sledge, I have to go through the fender wells, and there's two little tabs in my high trail is like that. I don't know that particular model if it's like that.
It's right down. There's a clip right down here.
Okay, so they did it different on that model.
It's indented in.
Perfect. That's nice.
It popped up.
Oh, look at that.
There must be one in the back somewhere because I feel it holding on. So, there. Yep, there's one in the back. And ta-da.
Oh, so they did a double pin. See, like my Rustler has a wedge, just like my X-Max, and if you crash hard enough, it will blow the body right off.
So they changed one back here and one up here. And
I like that design.
That's one of the reasons I wanted it, was because I don't, for a drift car, I don't want pinholes and magnets. This is where the back goes in. The front goes down here. So we don't need that.
Allow me to grab that. Hold on. While you're doing that,
yeah,
I'm gonna show you what else I worked on this week, if I can find it.
You know, this is a brushed, but from all the reviews I've heard and all the people in the drift community, this part doesn't need to be brushless. If you're gonna compete with it, I would change it over to brushless. But so for me, running this bone stock is the plan for a little while until I figure out. The only thing I do know that I have to change, and once again, from learning from the drift community, is that the servo that's in this can't keep up with the gyro system. So it had some, that's the only complaint that I've seen across the board. This thing, and it's been a long time coming. I'm sure. I mean, Scott's busy getting stuff, but he can even attest. I've been talking about getting into drifting for probably over a year.
Definitely. I would say 14 months.
So I'll give you guys a look inside here. Let me move the stand. If you're wondering what the stand is, this stand is the Traxxas stand. I can lock it so it doesn't rotate if I want to. I can flip it for a bigger rig. I can flip it this way. This is a piece of plastic I got from work. I bring that there, put that there up for flat cars. It works pretty good for me. I don't always use this, but it's nice to have, and so I keep it close by. I also bring this on the trails with me. This work stand. It's just and you can see here. It's a 550. They call them Titan Drift 211 550 brush motor. It's running the XL5, as you can see here.
Is it the XL5 HV?
No, it's the XL5 ESC Easy Set.
Does it have an HV on it?
No, I don't see an HV on it. I think it's just
So you can only run 2S.
right. This is only a 2S car.
Okay.
I don't have a 2S pack, so I have to wait.
Well, I will provide you with a brand new XL5 HV. I have multiples, and now you could, and I have a 550 that's capable of running.
For
3S.
the steering servo, it's 2075, which is basically what Traxxas sticks in everything. And that is the problem, that they took a steering servo that they put in all their crawlers, it's their standard servo, and I get it that they use. And
Is it the X? 2075X or no?
No, it's just a 2075.
Oh, so the difference between the two is the High Trail Sport runs the 2075X. It has a greater turning radius. It's over 180, or it's 180 instead of 90. Right. Or that's only like 90. I would think they would have did that being a drift car, because that thing must really turn.
Well, it only can get there's ways of modifying it to get the full 90. It gets 60 degrees of turn out of the box. There's modifications down the line we'll cover. I've seen people do. But what was it? 300 with tax, it was 350 US. It was $320 some, and you got the taxes, which you can't build a drift car for that. Or you might be able to, but then you're not going to compete with it. And you're going to get a radio. You get everything you need except for the battery pack and the charger.
Is it a TQ or TQI radio? It should be TQI because it has gyro, correct?
Right, it's TQI.
Okay, so it comes with a gyro, so that at least that's a positive. I
think the gyro system is done differently in this, and it's built into the receiver. That's one of the things that are different. And you're able to go in. I have to download the app.
Yes.
And select how much you want it to help you drive the car, the drift.
Yes, you are going to need the chip, that little panel on the back of the controller you pull off. It's a $27 thing. It plugs in and it links up to your Bluetooth through your cell phone, and you can make all your parameter adjustments and whatnot. It's called the Traxxas Link app.
So, what else can I tell you about it? It basically, as you can see, it is very flat. It weighs, I don't have a scale here. Not much. I'm used to 7-pound rigs, so like this probably 5 pounds, 3 to 5 maybe. Not even. Nice. It can't even be 5 pounds. Maybe it's 5 pounds. But I number one, I'm a Mustang freak. So I actually, now I can see though. You have to see. It's like, yeah, it is kind of orange. So they didn't mess up. This spoiler here, It's hard plastic. It's not Lexan. Right in front here, the wind dam, or whatever that.
It's called a splitter.
The front splitter.
Yep.
This is hard plastic.
Wind diverter splitter.
ABS, because it's all part of this mechanism. The rear, the same. No. Well, the rear is slightly softer, but it's not Lexan. It's not ABS, but it's falls somewhere in between that. Look up. It's so awesome. Like it just and the fact that you don't have no holes through your body, the way this is set up, it just when I saw it was being released, I was like, yeah, that's the way I want to go to get my dip my toe in to say into drifting. And I still have the other drift car. Like I still have to finish building that. But this is so I can actually go running. And that's someplace in Massachusetts. So I might even, depending on where it is, might even pick you up and go check it out because it's an indoor track. In the middle of winter, we get bored. No.
Well, I will be having a drift car when we meet, and I'll bring a servo that day.
So the servo in this, I'm probably going to put in I wouldn't say top of the line drift servo, but I will be putting something that's probably $80 to $90 drift servo inside this eventually.
Yeah.
To put, and that's the thing I really think I'm gonna have to. I really want to do to it, other than try to free up the turn radius, which I will have to dig a little deeper into other people that have done it. There is a mod to do it, but being a brand new car, I don't want to start cutting away at things until actually I've driven it a little bit.
Yeah, and then when you do purchase the servo, I would plan for the future. So make sure it's 6-volt to whatever 8.4 if you put a fly sky or whatever you decide to upgrade, make sure it's capable. But for right now, make sure minimum it will do 6-volt because that's what that system has to be at, 6-volt. So go 6 to 8.4 so
Yeah.
you'll be prepared for the future in case you ever upgrade motor or receiver. You can bump it up to be even better.
I'm probably going to roll with the TQI. I'm probably not going to do we'll see how crazy I go down this pipeline. You know how we can get in this hobby. For all you out there, I'm sure, like if you're into RCs, you've jumped down that rabbit hole, and once you start going down it, you can go. There's no bottom. You just keep going down. It's endless.
You may be okay, because it's drifting. You are not crazy speed, and having the gyro. They really, I do got to give them credit. They really have that quite designed. What I don't like is if you forget as an operator when you are bashing or racing, jumping,
Right.
You need to turn the TSM off. It will flick the vehicle in a way you do not want it to, whereas you don't have to worry about that. So I think that servo may suit you for the time being because that car does what, 27 miles an hour, maybe?
I don't even think
30 tops. What does the box say roughly? It should say right on it. 2S. I'm gonna say it's 25 to 27 miles an hour.
I think it goes that fast. If you ever seen drift cars, 3 drift profiles loaded in. Speed. Traditional drift, the TSM drift. It's Bluetooth. That little red switch is a handbrake. This is a handbrake.
Nice.
So there's that. 60 plus steering angle. Like I said, it only does like really 60 degrees out of it. I knew that before getting it. Generally, in drifting, you want 90, but there's ways of making this do 90. I'm not too worried about that either. No speed. I just know from seeing other drift cars go, like when I went to the mall, they're not fast. Like, I don't know, maybe 20 miles an hour fast, maybe, if that.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking of the Fiesta.
Yeah, no, they're
So
not
you're
fast.
right. Yeah, it's gonna be. You know what? I did drive that the BMW. What is that? The MT.
ST?
Yeah. What? It's a BMW drift car, rear wheel drive.
MST brand. It is. MST makes drift cars.
Yes. Lots of power. Great car. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with that. They do go pretty. They do move pretty good. I mean,
it's more about
it's a controlled chaos. I like to call it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about. It's as you can see, like this thing. Now there is some things I like this color very much. Like other people like red, blues, blacks, whites. I really liked this. Now with the light hitting it a certain way, I see the orange. So yes, it is. Like you said, it is an oxidized orange. And the reason I went with orange because I think the orange and black look really good together. And what I want to get,
They put a wide body on it. They flared out the fenders. I just noticed.
yeah, they really.
That's nice.
I want to get a running horse made up for both sides, in black. So, but very artistically done. Not like a solid horse, more like tribal. And have that made up I don't have a vinyl cutter here or anything, but like have two made up so I can put them on the doors. And
remind me later to talk to you. I found a guy, a friend of mine. He's doing my stickers. We'll see how they come out, and we'll talk about the pricing. And if it works out, I will put you on to him. Very good quality, good price, good price.
So yeah, this is like I said, guys. I wasn't lying. I said something new. This is brand new. I literally picked this thing up on Friday and didn't open the box just for you guys all. Just for you guys who can see it online. Like that is what I did. I sacrificed. It was tough. It was tough.
You even held out on me.
I know.
I didn't even know.
I did post something about it, but you haven't got caught up yet. I posted the box. I posted a video, just the box, just going by it. It's saying come soon.
Oh, can you take it off the stand and set it on the table so we can see the static ride height of how low the car sits? That'd be interesting to see. I know it's going to be really low.
Yeah, hold on.
I'd like to see that.
Let me plug this in. I'm down to 10%.
Because you are out of my realm of expertise. We are not in my wheelhouse right now. Drifting.
This is completely something new.
I've driven a drift car, and I'll tell you what, I can drive my Bashers or even my Felony way better. And when you go from, like, say, a Trex deck to a kitchen floor to concrete, totally different every time.
Exactly. All right, I'm going to flip this on you. I'm still able to see you, but you'll see the car.
Oh, yeah, that thing is so sharp looking.
I mean, you're a Mustang guy just like me.
They really did a great job with that. Like notice how like even the wheel wells are centered in the wheel well. Like sometimes with the crawlers and stuff, they're a little wonky. They did a great job. I really got to applaud them. That is beautiful.
I mean, God, it's just like so sexy. It's just a sexy car. Now I gotta. You ready for the fun part? You can be and witness this because I gotta do it eventually.
Oh, oh no, no, no.
Ready? You hear it?
You're gonna get. Don't get fingerprints. Oh, that's why the color is looking weird. You goofball. You didn't tell us that.
That's the only piece that's on it.
Well, I see my first thing I'll be able to whack off. I see a mirror. I see a mirror, guys.
That is.
I'm just teasing you on that one. You know how it is.
Oh, I do. Like, she is.
I like the chrome accent on the outer lip of the rim. That's a nice touch.
Right, and
I like
some people don't like the stickers on the window. I'm gonna leave them. I think it looks cool that way.
They're black. They're black tints, correct?
They're just stickers,
Right, but it's blacked out like a smoke.
like
I
a
like
smoke.
it. Yeah.
I like it too. Like it's just enough that adds that nice contrast. And then if you added a, like I said, a tribal like running horse, the traditional Ford symbol for Mustangs on the side here.
Right.
I think
I mean,
in black, I think he'll just pop.
yes, I understand why they did the window tint, because you have the diffusers, the black spoiler, the black centerpiece of the rims, and the windows. It all ties in very nicely.
Right. Exactly. Now I've been crawling for probably heavy into the crawling scene for over 3 years. Before that, I was into the bashing scene for God knows how many years. This is completely different. and this is something that intrigues me.
Now that's rear wheel drive. I didn't hear you earlier.
Yeah, this is just rear wheel drive. So when most of the time you're gonna run rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, none of that. Back in the day, they used to do that. They don't do that no more. It's all rear wheel drive now.
Yeah, that may be a preference thing. I mean,
Well,
I'm sure the hobby steered away from it, but me personally, I'm better with all-wheel drive. For me, that's what works better for me. Oh, so it's a coil wishbone type suspension.
I believe so. Yep.
Is it a single A arm on the bottom with a link bar up top, adjustable, or?
Give me a minute.
Yep. I gotta blow that. Excuse me a second. I might know this.
So yeah, this is what you're looking for for suspension. So guys, what do you think? Drifting? I mean, I hear it's in. I hear it's the new thing. All the young kids are doing it. So why don't this old man do it?
Yeah, well, we'll have to teach them a thing or two.
Yeah, right. All right. There's the shocks.
Oh, I'm gonna turn on my screen. Right, I have to keep it down because my phone's wanting to overheat, but I need to see.
Yeah, we're not gonna be too much longer because my battery is fastly dying.
Oh, they ran big bore shocks. Okay.
But
they're running a double wishbone suspension.
So
okay. Ooh, adjustable rear camber links.
Yeah, that is one thing that they do have is that there's a lot of adjustability in this car.
Yeah.
I gotta find out which things they're running on. I believe it comes with the outdoor ones. They're marked, but I have to look in the manual for that one.
Right. You're gonna want to get yourself a camber gauge.
It's I
because
mean,
when you take the tire, like my felony is uh, that'd be negative 5 to 7 in the rear, which gives the inside of the tire more bite. It wears it out badly, but that's a felony. It's not. It's a basher, not a drifter. So there'll be. It's going to be a learning curve, but a lot of fun.
yeah, and I don't know if you can. This is going to do it justice, but I just noticed, and should have. It's slightly pitched, so the front is slightly lower than the rear. If you can see that.
Yeah, it is raked, huh?
And then if you
Um,
look for height, like I could barely get the tips of my fingers underneath it.
yeah. That's because I noticed that the other drift car I drove was not pitched, and on certain surfaces, the front end would push. So they may have figured that out. That if you rake the vehicle, it's going to make the front tires bite better.
So it's they're already pretty well set up. They are slightly kicked out, which there should be, from what I understand. Like I
Yeah.
said, everything is. I have no clue. Um, Guys, when I say I have no clue, I mean absolutely no clue what I'm doing with a drift car. That's why this is a good entry level car because number one, I don't have to build it, um, and not knowing like builds are generally I say rule of thumb your second because the first car, even if it's a crawler, you get RTR so you can learn and you learn what you need, what you can do. And then when you go into a build, you would have a better understanding of what you really need to purchase. If I don't run this and I finish that other build, I won't know exactly what to put in it for systems because I have no wheel time. Um, Hands-on experience definitely rules the roost, I would say.
So, you were asking me about other work that I did this week, and I forgot all about it.
Um,
So, as we know, I did a little tumble wumble with the Losi. You can see she's well worn in. Um, I still have to. I gotta do some trimming. You can see the fiberglass tape, so I gotta address that. I actually I'm gonna have to shave it down a little and get some paint on it because um, I had to hit it with heat and fold the chunks back down, and then I taped over the top. And then what I did is I came from the inside, and I didn't have ES3000. I only had Shugu, and I used the fiberglass drywall tape because
right.
it was a huge hole. There was pieces missing, so it was the best I could do. I will sand it down and shoot some paint on it. Like I said, it's a rough and tumble truck. Um, you can clearly tell it took out that whole corner. There wasn't much to work with. And that being said, we traveled down that road and we had to heat some plastic, and it was cracked all the way up there. This whole center section, you can still see how it's still this. Hold on, this is so hard. This here was actually completely folded over in half and creased. So I was able to manipulate it and straighten it out. It's nowhere's near perfect, as you can tell, but at least it allowed me to get this back together, the joint, as well as this. I mean,
Right.
it looks, you can see this whole thing is, there was nothing here. That's all tape. This was all missing.
Yeah, and X Max bodies are super expensive.
This is a Raptor body. It's
Is it?
not even the standard. Yeah, it's a Ford Raptor. So we got that straightened out. We fixed this corner here. We repaired this one here. We did a repair here. Unfortunately, this one I had to hit on the outside too, but this body, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is a trash truck. Well, it's not a garbage truck. The body's just, it is what it is. Back here, I didn't glass it because I ran out of shoe goo. So I fixed that. And whoever painted this, I don't know. I mean, I like the splatter effect, but I don't believe they used the right tape. So
Yeah, but right now that's pretty much a bashing body because you'll get a new one. But if I was you, I'd look into
I already
the,
spoke to my friend over. He's either in.
I was gonna say they have indestructible ones. So
Yes, he's either. It's either Russia, Ukraine, or Sweden, somewhere over there yonder. They make an indestructible body, but I think it runs about almost $2 bills. But it's
right,
a lifetime guarantee or what? Yeah.
exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like even if it's $2 bills, I mean, if you bought just a Lexan one, you're looking at 100 easy, maybe 100 and
Well,
change.
I mean, this Raptor body, I think is. I know it's 100 all day long. It might even be over that.
Right.
Um,
So you might as well ante up that way. You don't ever have to worry about replacing it again because things are just going to keep getting more and more costly for us.
well, I think what I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna run this body because I've never had a 1/5 scale. I have a 1/7 felony. That was my biggest and my ace sledge. So I am gonna practice with this body.
Right.
Because I don't mind this stuff. I am. My crawlers, some of them are not shelf queens, but they are not like this. This is, this is one of those things that it's gonna be ridden hard, and obviously it got rode a little harder than I thought. He did
Right.
offer to buy me a replacement body though. After I showed him, I didn't complain. I was like, oh man, because apparently you can still see it. There's tape. When I removed that tape, that's what I realized this whole chunk was missing. It cracked all the way up to here. I wasn't complaining or anything. I just said, hey, I'm repairing the body. If they taped over the grill. There's a huge chunk. I wasn't complaining. I was just telling, we were talking about how I was repairing it, where I was at and whatnot. But it is a sharp looking body.
Mm.
It is much. It is a lot thicker than the standard body. I will tell you that. Like even this thing, this is like harder but much thinner.
Right.
Where this is, I mean, down here it's pretty. I mean, it's thin, but I don't know if they used a different. Like it's very flexible, but when you get down in this area, and it could be because of the contours, it's going to stiffen it up. But I mean, it's I can't get to my other body to show.
Nah, it's okay. It's just yeah, like run it.
Yeah, so that was
What I do.
the
I would. I mean, you see me take fiberglass out and actually fix bodies because I don't want to bother getting a new one.
I am not you. I do not have the capability like you do. I am not skilled enough in that area. I get the job done.
Yeah, but you're skilled in other things. So
Right. I haven't put effort into it and tried to teach myself. I did that thing, and I wanted. It's funny how life works sometimes. I wanted a trophy show queen, shelf queen, prestige looking body. What I got is not what you can't always get what you want. The Rolling Stones played in my head when I peeled the tape. You can't always get, or how's that song? You can't always get what you want.
You can't always get what you want, but if you try
But
sometime,
I'll tell you what, the hardest part, a friend of ours that I still crawl with every now and then, cut me out a phoenix bird on the cricket. Now that was the hardest part. That came out the best. Apparently I got bad paint. The company did reimburse me, but obviously the body was already painted and now it's a farm truck patina. But I actually enjoy it and I get compliments all the time on it, believe it or not.
it looks good. I mean, that was your first real crawler build, so I mean that's a truck that you don't ever get rid of.
Oh no. And
Just
then
just like
the
mine.
first test drive, my brother decided to roll down a hill and crack my fender, so the paint job didn't even matter anymore. It's funny how life works.
Well, it's like the Ultra. When I build that, I'm not doing anything with the body and the paint. I'm just leaving it and running it. Like I don't care.
What does it have for? It's got the ultra body.
Yeah, it's I got
Because they come two different ways, do they not? They come with like a cage and then like a.
Yeah, this is full covered. I believe it's up.
Is it painted or is it clear?
No, it's painted.
It's already painted.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna run with it. I don't care.
Oh, okay. I thought you just didn't want to paint it. I thought it was clear.
No. If it was clear, depending on how I feel, maybe I'll paint it. I'm not. Lately, my project lists are way too much for me. My workload with the throne, with all the stuff and the suits, and I've been just constantly building stuff. So like, as I actually turned down clients. Like people are like, "Oh, can you do this? Can you do that?" I was like, "I can, but my workload's too much right now." I was like, "I work a normal job, and I don't want to spend all my free time working."
Well, I remember that other said vehicle I was doing for a favor for said person.
Yeah.
That is finished. I just had to go over there Saturday. I gave instructions and they didn't listen. So when you have a censored motor with the one he bought, you have to swap a wire on A terminal and put it to C and put C on A because it's censored. If it was sensorless, the ESC, you hook it up ABC. Well, they didn't listen to me. So it's very powerful in reverse and 25% powerful forward. So it's just got to get resoldered. Nothing I did. And then I adjusted the endpoints and whatnot, and they're happy. And then he wanted me to take on another car, and I said no.
Nope.
I said no.
I'm gonna probably like. Well, at the end of this month, my schedule clears up, as I told you. There's no more fairs. There's no more, and I've cut back a lot on how many times I go to the fair. So for the next few months through the holidays, I'm pretty much detaching my workload. Of my, my normal job, I can't do that, but like all the extra stuff I do, and I'm like just telling people like, hey, hit me up next year. I'll see what I feel like. I'll see what you want me to build, and depending on what it is, I can say yes or no. I remember I still am building a throne, which is costly and time consuming. I just need a break from building.
I have one ultimate operational crawler, and that's my Climbstein. Nothing wrong, no adjustments. Perfect. My pro does perform, does work, missing the servo. I just don't like the way it performs. Vanquish, that's going to be a winter. That if the training's got to come out of it, that C channel frame is going.
So you bought your pro was an axial, right?
I bought the pro kit like you recommended, and then
Right.
we did whatever. I got the Kraken frame from you. I
Yeah.
still am trying to straighten out the AR 40 or the 45s, the pro axles with axial. I'm still having that issue. So I had a spare set of Traxxas portals that are under that truck right now, and that's part of the reason why I don't like the way it performs, because the gear ratio is all wonky.
Yeah, because when you add portals, it changes
I,
things.
I
I
yeah,
know you know this. I know you know this.
but I
Thank
had
you.
no truck, and I wanted to go out that weekend, so it was cut drive shafts, fudge links, so I could go out and have fun. It does perform. I tell you what, it allowed, it did raise the truck up, which I didn't like. Now that particular truck, you may have picked up on this in comparison to my Climbstein. Now that is I think a 12-degree angled skid.
I don't
The
know.
Pro, I think, is 6. My Blazer with a flat, nothing done to it, didn't get hung up as much as this Pro does. Whether portals, straight axles, I think it's so low when I'm out on that stuff. If I so much as a hair pick a bad line, I am constantly getting hung up on that skid plate.
Well,
And I think
with Black Beauty, number one, it's not the Kraken, so it's a completely different animal. You've driven Black Beauty a little bit. I have to hit things kind of diagonal. If I hit them straight on, I will bottom out because it is an LCG.
correct. I believe it's more of a comp truck for sure. It's
Right.
phenomenal. I'm not knocking it by any means. It's a little bit of a learning curve. It's now my Vanquish being a straight axle, not a degree skid. It's very forgiving. I'm great. That's a I have to
The
say, hands
different,
down, that's one of the greatest out of the box kits I have ever put together.
well, even as you like to call it, Candy, the Red Cat Ascent Fusion is an LCG, even though it has portals. It will, like, I have to be mindful of what I'm approaching because it will get hung up because once again, LCG is not forgiving. And there's a difference between, comp truck and a good trail truck, completely different. You can make a comp chassis into a good trail chassis. I'm not saying you can't. I did it, but there's downsides to it, and
Well,
I experiencing some of that. But the other is your setup. Like you probably, and I hate to say it, but you probably have to spend time and revamp the whole thing, rebuild the whole thing, come up with a different game plan. Maybe do what
well,
you,
I'm running the tires you provided me with,
yeah.
and they're 4 point something. I'm usually 4.6, and that's part of my problem. I don't have enough tire height. Because I want to say, I forgot. My LCG 0 point, I'm like I'm 3/8 off center line. That's how close I got it. But my ground clearance, I don't even think I can get. It's either 2 or 3 fingers. I can't even get 3 fingers under that truck. It's so low. It's
Yeah.
so. It
And
may.
are you running full droop on that?
You know it. Yeah.
Well, that's the way I had mine set up too, and that's the way mine's still set up.
That's part of the problem because I want it to perform. I have 2 little rubber O-rings as bump stops, no springs, and rubber bands for limiting straps. So I created the problem. But here's the thing. Now, you would
But it's
think
a
my Kleinstein, now that is a straight comp truck.
right.
That's the best performing truck out on the trail. I can hammer through. It does things that Roy has some big dollar trucks like you.
Right.
You guys got some real good quality. You guys are better in driving areas than I am. And, I was outperforming him.
Which isn't hard to do. It just depends on the trail, depends where you
It's
are.
a truck.
Yeah.
My brother couldn't drive it. He was terrible with it.
But that's also the thing. Like when you're building a truck, you build it for your personality, your skill level, that's why I said like for beginners, RTR is the best because then they have a baseline what they need to build from. If you get an RTR and you go out there and hit the trails, number one, you're gonna hone your skills. Number two, you're gonna get that knowledge that you need by just being out there. And when you go into build, you understand what you need to do in that build to make it the way you want it, instead of just throwing money at something. And nowadays, like none of us can afford to just throw money at these things.
Why do you think I have about 5 crawlers? Because I have not yet built the ultimate rig.
Right.
And now every time you frost my cookie, every time you bring up that Fusion, because I have watched how good it performs and the amount of money it costs, and I know the thousands I've spent. I can't. I am not upset. I'm actually. I'm applauding Red Cat.
Yeah, they knocked it up.
I am applauding them because they did it one time. And that's what, a $475 truck, $500 bill. How much is that truck?
Not even $399. I can't build a crawler for $399. Exactly. It's like $399. Black Beauty was over $1,000. I would put it up against Black Beauty all day long. It guaranteed, depending on the line, in some cases it will outperform Black Beauty. And I'm just like, Black Beauty was like the pinnacle of all my skills into a crawling truck, other than the track, maximum overdrive, which is not a trail truck. Let's get that straight. It can do it, but it's strictly a takeout on special occasions truck, which I might have to do because we are in Halloween month.
I'll tell you what, though. Now, that stance, that Roy has,
yeah,
it's got some brass slung on it. It's got some good tires on it. I think it may be stock suspension. It's got a pro motor in it, upgraded servo.
don't get me wrong, the stance is an awesome truck.
Well, listen to this, though. I have no brass. I have dual stage foams with the Canyon trails, highly modified, tuned suspension tuning. I was pretty much, there was only a few things that I could not do due to the front of my truck wanting to lift up. But he got like literally an inch or two. I mean, it was like, I don't even think my Kleinstein could have did it. to be quite honest. Maybe that cheater rig you have, that real impressive one, whatever that
Right.
thing's called, that would have been
Oh, the
probably
Rhino.
what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Rhino, depending on our weather, because I can't get that thing wet, that's going up to Sleeping Giant with me.
Yeah.
And I might even, I don't even know if I want to carry 2 rigs, but I might carry 2 rigs on that climb. Because I have to, with the backpack, I have that capability, but the problem is it's a tough call. It's really is a tough.
That's got to be. I'm probably normally with no extra rig, just spare parts and batteries and drink. I'm at least 30-pound backpack, so there's no way that I would be doing that and an 8-pound rig plus that's 38 pounds plus that place is wild.
The Rhino doesn't weigh 8 pounds. The Rhino.
No, I'm saying my stuff I have. There's no way I could do it.
Well, no, Sleeping Giant. No, see, here's the thing about Sleeping Giant. There's other trails. I'm just choosing the most difficult.
They scared the crap out of me. It shook the whole house. They're cutting and grinding and changing the gas.
The Rhino is designed for Sleeping Giant. That's where it succeeds on that kind of terrain. But then it's like, well, if it starts to rain, like I have to like put that in the pack and just hike, which is fine. I'm the host. But if I bring a second rig, I just swap. But also the Rhino burns through batteries very, like it doesn't get nearly the runtime as the Fusion does. The Red Cat Fusion gets excellent. I went through only 2 packs on Devil's Hop Yard. Black Beauty is 3 packs.
You're probably not going to like what's about to come out of my mouth, but I just happen to know you have said Fusion probably sitting on your workbench. I'd be putting that in that vehicle and putting that other motor in that Ultra because you're not going to be using that Ultra. You're probably going to be unloading it.
Yeah, but there's no room.
That's what I would be doing.
No room for that Fusion. That thing is ridiculously how it's engineered. It is literally a cheater rig. It is one step above what you like to call a spider monkey. So,
and you don't think you couldn't fit the Fusion in it?
No. Actually, I can show you the spider monkey.
Let me get my eagle eye on this because I trust your word, but
well, I don't have the neither one of those trucks are down here. They're in the studio.
Oh, that's right.
But the Spider Monkey I've never built because it's like $500 an axle. This is how much space you have. If you can see that. None. And the you're dealing with probably it weighs nothing.
All right. See, you were talking about that truck. I was confused. I was thinking of that other one you had.
The Rhino is like this, except for, I mean, it's on the scale of this. It's slightly longer, but has a truck-looking body. But it's
right.
That's the only thing different. It will perform like crazy, but there's no room for. Like there's very little.
What's the distance? What was that? 58 mil distance in between the frame rails, or give it to me in American. What's the width in between the inside of the frame rails? Do you know?
I couldn't tell you. I bought this a while back.
All right, stick your fingers in there. How many fingers can you get in between?
That's what she said. Wow. 3.
All right, hold on.
Have anything to measure down here?
So you're a little bit. All right, so we'll just call it 2.5, about 2.5 inches. So
Yeah. But this is the whole chassis. You got to cram everything in the center of this: the battery, the transmission, the basically, because the motors are on the axles on something like this. On the other, it has a centered motor.
oh
But you,
well, you wouldn't even run a Fusion on that then.
but the
I
other,
forgot that's an MOA, motor on axle. See,
yeah, this one's a motor
Yeah.
on axle.
yeah.
The problem is the expense to build one of these.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
talking,
all set with that.
you're talking a $3,000 truck by the time you're done if you do it right.
Yeah,
You know,
you have fun with that. If you have technical difficulties, it needs some shit figured out, like a blueprint drawn up in dimensions. I'll help you out, but you're on your own with the rest of it.
yeah,
I want no part of it.
no, I honestly like this is one of the reasons why this never gets built. It's just the sheer cost of things like that.
Right.
Granted, some people love them. MOAs are awesome. Other people hate them because they're not scale. They don't look like a truck. And that's why I call them a spider monkey. I got that terminology from you. Because you can literally like hang off a cliff with one wheel and still climb it. And I did want to build one, but I decided every time I look at the price, I just can't. I can't justify that kind of money. Not anymore. Not the way our economy is.
This is ridiculous. I don't care that they're doing construction. The fact that they cut the whole road, they don't have enough plates. My mother can't get home. She can't drive down the street. She can't park.
Well, that's
She's just
horrible.
been hanging out. I'm getting aggravated.
Well, we're gonna end this up in a minute.
Oh yeah, no, it has nothing to do with it. What I'm saying is they cut the street the whole length. They don't have enough plates, so people can't get home. Is what I'm saying.
No, that's horrible. I've had that happen. Like when they ripped. I've had that happen before. Like,
And they took out my mailbox today. I came home to that. I had to get dropped off, walk home, and the dump truck took out my mailbox. I was like, "Hey there, feller. I know stuff happens, but is that going to be fixed?" He goes, "Fix what?" I said, "What you just ran over." And I said, "By the looks of it, looking down the street, you took out a few more." And he's like, "Oh, well, we're doing road work."
it's crazy.
So,
We've been streaming for quite some time, so I'm gonna call it.
yeah, it's up to you. I really wasn't prepared as well. I'm not.
Oh no, we covered everything you needed covered. Like something.
Yeah,
something.
I wasn't able to be working. I'm not feeling well.
No, it's okay. You don't need to work on it. So guys, hope you enjoyed the stream. I only see one person watching. I hope you like the look of the new drift car. Something new, something borrowed and something blue, but no borrowed, no blue. Definitely orange and new. Very cool. Glance before we go. This is beautiful. This is just like sexy. I just need
You just need a scratch on it.
yeah, Rubbins Racing, right? Is that what the kids say? So thank you once again, my friend, for joining me tonight.
No, thank you. Always a pleasure.
It definitely is an awesome dynamic. We should keep it going. We'll see. I mean, I've seen that our high point tonight was 6 people watching. Our low point was 1.
I think we're having some technical difficulties because I have no chat at all. And that's
chat,
not normal.
I have it up on 2 computers, and I have not seen anything in chat except for your brother that one time. So I don't know what's going on.
I think next time, contact me later or whatever. Next, I want to talk to you about something. I think I know what's happening.
So I'm sure construction doesn't help.
Huh?
I'm sure the construction doesn't help.
No,
We'll talk about it later.
pattern recognition I picked up on.
So where may people find you at if they are interested in your builds, your videos, and your stuff?
You would find me here on YouTube at Blaze Your Own Trail 875. Is the @ name. I go by RC Adventures, but the @ name is Blaze Your Own Trail 875.
All right, and you guys already know you can find me at Roughneck Adventures on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook, Roughneck RC on Facebook, and if you're lucky enough to live in this area and you go out crawling with us, you may be qualified to enter an exclusive club called Rough Riders. Only a few people are on there because the only people that actually have done the mud and dirt and the grit work with me out there.
They would also have the opportunity, like I said, if they meet in person, to be on our private group, Mass RC Addicts. But that's for private group for people that we actually go out with. So that's always an option too.
So
your people that go out with you are welcome to join. You just tell me, or I'll make you an admin, and they are welcome.
nah, you can handle it. Because who knows if people intertwine or not. I mean, you never know. There's always things up at RC Madness. Well, guys, once again, it's been a great Tuesday, and thank you, my friend, for joining me. Thank you for co-hosting, and it's a good to me. It feels like a good vibe. We're gonna keep it going for a while, see what happens, and you all, guys, treat each other respectfully, love each other, and enjoy life. Once again, I'll see you next time.
Peace and love. Happy trip.